What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the tavern. I'm Spencer,
And I'm Eli.
and this is Bardic Blunders, and I am back from vacation. Uh,
Yes.
finally, like it was more than just like 3 days, but anyway, yeah, we're moving, we're grooving. I was told you had a story for the podcast. I don't know if you want to do that now before we get into the topics, or if you want to hold that off.
Oh, I can. I'm just watching the GTA 6 trailer.
Okay, fair enough. I should probably do that as well because I put it in the thing and didn't actually watch it. I watched a video.
There's a moment where you will immediately go, "Oh, that feels too real" in it.
Oh, of course.
Anyway, so I'm at work. And while I don't do a lot at work, I do have a job. And one of the servers that I work with, she's pregnant right now. And she looked at me and was like, "Eli, you look like you haven't been getting a lot of sleep." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. I haven't been getting a lot of sleep." And she goes, "Oh, that sucks." I'm like, "Well, as a pregnant lady, you have that problem too, right?" And she goes, "Well, yeah." I'm like, "Well, what do you do?" And she goes, "I changed out the sheets I own." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." She goes, "No, trust me. Go get a new set of sheets for your bed." Um,
What's up, Razor?
I did, and I got like super comfortable ones, and man, I slept like a babe. However, it does make my room look like a sex dungeon with a green screen built in.
Why?
Hold on, I'm gonna send you a picture of my bed right now.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Once I figure out how to use a phone.
I'm worried. My trip was good, Razor. Thanks for asking. I uh I
There, I sent it.
I
It'll be
thought
on your phone.
we were staying in Alabama, but we stayed in Destin, which is just in the panhandle of Florida, and my dad had to go over into Alabama for his work conference.
Look at my photo. Oh, you
You had
did.
like the red satin bed sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Good grief. You need a
Hey,
Warhammer
Spencer,
logo somewhere on there.
do you want to come spend the night at my place?
No, shut up. Go away. I don't want to be anywhere near you while you're sleeping. Or I don't know. More realistically, I don't want you near me while I'm sleeping.
Ah, just wait till D&D. I'll get you one of these nights.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. But anyway, we had a fun little story. I actually have a funny story. It's short. It's not really anything crazy. The
You're
little
short.
condo, whatever. The little condo that we stayed at is owned by some of my family, and they rent it out as like a Airbnb or one of those things. Well, they let us stay there as long as we paid the cleaning fee. What's up, Snake? Uh, so we stayed there, and I'm up yesterday. So my dad's conference was yesterday. We had like the mixer on Monday that I went with him, ate some food, then went out to lunch with somebody he works with who paid for a dinner that was very expensive. I had a fish called a Baronzino, which tasted pretty good. Um, you got Rod of Elden Ring and got Black Myth Wukong. Nice. Um, but my dad goes for his conference. He leaves really early because he's got to drive like 2 hours to get to where the conference was. Um, so he leaves at like 5 in the morning for the conference at 8. Give himself some leeway. Well, he wakes up at 5, but whatever. I wake up that day. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna watch some movies. I'm gonna hang out, maybe go out and walk. Walk across the street to some of the stores. Chill out for the day. And so I watched Sucker Punch. Then I watched. No, I didn't watch another movie before I left. But I'm in the middle of watching Sucker Punch when I hear things like outside the door. I'm like, what was that? And then I hear beep, 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 beep. I'm like, who's opening the door? And I get up and I walk over to the door, and this woman and this guy open up the door, and she's like, housekeeping. Are you leaving? I'm like, no, we leave tomorrow. It's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And then shuts the door and leaves. It's like, okay, that was weird. But, all right. Sit down, finish my movie. And I'm getting up. I'm like, all right, get dressed, get everything I need to do. Like, all right, let's go out to, let's go walk across the street. Let's go see what's going on. Get some lunch, everything. Shut the door and go, oh, wait, I forgot something in there. Put in the door code. Red. Uh-oh. So I walk over to the office. I'm like, hey, I tried to like explain the whole thing, and she's like, so your family member told us you were checking out today, and when we called her, she apologized, said she had the day wrong, so you're checking out tomorrow. Here's a temporary door code. I'm like, sweet. I was a little afraid because my dad's conference, it was like noon at this point. My dad's conference was supposed to run till 3, and he wouldn't get back until like 5 because it was going to be 2 hours about with traffic. I was like, I'm sitting there thinking about the prospect of having to sit outside for 6 hours. Like, uh-oh, what do I do? But luckily it got...
I could have been up there in that amount of time, too.
Yeah, you could have. You wouldn't be able to help anything, but... At least...
I mean, actually, probably not with the way I drive, because I drive like a grandpa.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that was the little scare I got, but all's good. Had some great times. Watched Silence of the Lambs after getting back home. Movie's fantastic. Woke up and saw some dolphins too, just like swimming out in the beach, out in the water. We were right on the beach. Legitimately, like walk out the back door, off the porch, over a little bridge over the dunes, and you're on the beach. Like maybe 50 feet from the water. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Watched a lot of playoff hockey. Almost choked on a muffin last night because I was eating I think it was an apple cinnamon muffin from Walmart. We're watching hockey, and the captain of the Golden Knights, Mark Stone, had scored 2 goals in the first period, and they come back from break, and the announcer goes, Captain Mark Stone's got a pair. Right as I'm taking a bite of my muffin, I just sucked in and almost choked on the muffin. Like,
Jeez.
why did you phrase it like that, dude? Come on. Um, but yeah, so that was my trip. That was it was enjoyable. Nice to get away, but I am glad to be back. But to get to the actual video game stuff, GTA had a very turbulent week, all things considered. Um, Start off the week by saying, "Hey, GTA 6 ain't coming out until 2026." So when
Uh,
they guaranteed it, they were like, "Oh, it's definitely coming this year," and then it ain't coming this year. So you know that sucks. It's unfortunate, but not unsurprising. But then, just like 2 days later, 2 or 3, they just shadow drop a new trailer for it. And everybody starts freaking out. They're like, oh my gosh, this looks incredible. Then you got a bunch of people saying, like, oh, this looks overrated, this looks lame, whatever. Which I'm somewhere in the middle. I think it looks good.
uh, so Vice City is the game equivalent of Florida, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's Miami, but yeah, it's essentially
From everything I've saw, they're doing up towards where we live.
okay. That's interesting.
Um, like it's going to be a massive game. Keep that in mind. Anybody who's thinking about buying it, if GTA 5 was 100 gigs, it's probably going to be like 300 gigs because they only want you to play one game.
They only want you to play
Um,
one game, and they have no freaking idea how to optimize anything.
so, um, other than our area might get the Rockstar car to drive through and take photos.
Dude, we got to find out if that's happening, and
I
like,
believe it already has because I remember seeing it when I was at work one day. This is a while ago. But
gosh dang it.
um
It makes sense though.
one
The
of
game's just a year away from release.
during the trailer that just came out, they're driving down an interstate and it looks like 275. Like all the exit sides are just like 275 and I'm just like, get it away
Stop it!
from me.
Stop it!
The
It's
only
too
thing worse
similar.
would be if it was I-4.
It's like the the old Tony Hawk Underground, where they have a level in
Yeah.
Tampa. And there's a couple of things you're skating around. You're like, I recognize that. I recognize that too. This is weird. Oh boy.
Or another good one is they're arresting somebody in front of a big mural that's a knockoff of a really big mural over in Plant City.
Oh gosh.
And I was like, I recognize that. I drove by that every day on my way to work for 6 months. I'm like, I don't want to get this game. I really don't. But I really want to go see if they put our houses in there.
There's no way they put our specific houses in the game.
Or put our neighborhoods in the game.
See, I wouldn't be surprised if they put the general area in the game, but there's no way they mapped it exact. There's
Yeah.
no way. I could see mapping the city of Tampa exact.
Well, no, they basically demoed the city of Tampa and put the military base there.
Okay.
Because, I mean, Tampa does have a military base.
It does, but it's not in Tampa. It's not even really near Tampa. I guess it in the grand scheme of things, it's near Tampa, but it's still like an hour drive out of Tampa.
Uh, Tampa proper.
Yeah.
Because Tampa is like 5 different boroughs all put together.
Yes. Well, yeah, of course. If you're going from the side of Tampa that's closest to the military base, yeah, of course it's going to be shorter than that.
Also, I will say, I hope they get the traffic right in this game and just nobody can drive.
Oh, yeah, of course. Everybody needs to be screwing things like constant running red lights, like speeding out the wazoo, and people going 10, 15 under.
Yeah. We're just missing a person who runs the red light in this call.
Right. I was gonna say, I don't run red lights. And you've already said you drive like a grandma, so
Grandpa, get it right.
okay. Either one.
There's a difference. Grandpa can go fast if he wants to. He just chooses not to.
Okay. Uh but yeah, I think GTA's interesting. We've got a lot of stuff. The delays suck, but it's not
It,
unexpected.
yeah.
It,
How many times was GTA 5 delayed?
not a clue.
Google, here I come.
I was not anywhere close to being old enough to play that when it was coming out. So,
It was supposed to come out January 27th, then it moved to March 24th, and then to April 14th.
okay.
So we it was also to think about it, that's in 2015. It was supposed to release in September 2013.
I swear it did release in 2013. Yeah, September 17th, 2013.
Oh. Hmm. Then why do they just have wrong information online? Ugh.
Oh, November 2014 for PS4 and Xbox One, April 2015 for Windows.
Uh, so they have also confirmed a date. Okay, 6. Uh, of May 26th.
Of next year?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Not this
yeah,
year.
I did see that. I did see that for next year. That's right. Um, we're in an interesting spot right now with gaming because there's a lot of I'm not going to I'm still skeptical on Silk Song coming out this year, but considering that it at least got a release date, that's something. But here in a few days we're gonna have Doom the Dark Ages.
That got delayed.
No, it's coming out the 15th.
Is it? Or did I just see a really cool trailer for it?
You probably
I
saw
might
a
have just
really
seen
cool trailer for it. We're getting
May
Elden
15th.
Ring
Okay.
Night Rain at the end of this month, which may or may not be good. We'll see. I think it has promise, but we'll see.
Are we still on Repo making it into the Game of the Year awards?
Oh, it absolutely should. I don't know what.
Lethal Company didn't.
No, but I think Repo is. I. It's mean to say better than Lethal Company, but it's kind of better.
It's more polished.
Yes, that's a good way of saying it. That's a good way of saying it.
I think. Oh no, I still have Lethal Company installed, but it's like what, a couple
Less than a
megabytes.
gig, yeah. There were a couple other games that I saw that were coming out before too long. It was making me think like, oh, we got some good games actually on the docket. It's just are are they all going to be that good? Most of them are AAA. Oh yeah, there's another college football game coming. I'm still not going to be able to play it because they refuse to put it on
Uh,
computers.
Borderlands 4 is coming.
Borderlands 4, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 remastered.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I refuse to name any Nintendo things right now because
so
they can eat my ass.
Civ 7 came out this year.
It did.
May.
We actually are getting a Gears of War remaster too in August. Gears of War Reloaded, which is interesting.
I mean, I would be down to play it with you.
Sure. The only one that I ever finished was the first one.
That was the only one I ever played.
Yeah, it's all right. It's it just wasn't my thing, really.
There just doesn't seem to be a lot of big name games coming out this year.
At least none that are 100% confirmed. Not a lot that are 100% confirmed cuz we're supposed to get Silk Song this year. We're supposed to get uh Night Rain is definitely that's coming out at the end of this month. So I'm willing to be proven wrong. I'm nervous about that though, being an oh, excuse me, an online game.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's just like there's not a huge amount of games that I recognize, which kind of worrisome.
Well, we're going to be hitting a spot here in a bit where there is no shot. There is no shot they're releasing a Gex Trilogy remaster. You're lying. I will 100% play that if that's true. We're in this interesting spot where we have a lot of big names, like Hollow Knight Silk Song, supposed to be coming out this year. Huge name. Still considered an indie game because Team Cherry is still only 3 dudes, but you know, there's a lot
I
of
mean, dude,
Hyper
look at
Light Breaker.
Stardew Valley. Look at Stardew Valley. It's still just one guy working on the game.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We're getting Enter the Gungeon 2. I don't know if that's supposed to come out
No.
this year. I'll shout out Kirby Air Riders, even though I hate Nintendo. Um, just because that's cool that they're actually making a sequel to that. We're getting Killing Floor 3.
Still have not played Killing Floor 2.
I have 1 and 2 on Steam, actually. I got them on sale for like $1 a piece.
I think you bought those for me as well because I also have both of them on Steam.
We should stream that sometime. Little Nightmares 3 possibly coming out this year. Manor Lords might get
I'm just going through the
full release. Metroid Prime 4, that's Nintendo.
Manor Lords might get a full. Yeah, how that game is still in. Ah, shit. There was a game I wanted to go look up that I was on here that I saw a review for, and I was like, game looks interesting.
Yeah. Oh, The Outer Worlds
Oh,
2. That's not confirmed to be coming out this year, but it's at least soon. Oh, and once again, it's Nintendo, but Pokemon Legends ZA and Power Wash Sim 2 is supposed to be coming out Q4 of this year.
so we're absolutely streaming that.
Yeah, there's a chance.
You and me just sitting there streaming, talking for hours on end. Hold on,
It'd be
hold
nice if we
on,
could get
hold,
Tyler involved. Ooh, Slay the Spire
hold on.
2? What? They're making a sequel? That's dope.
How much is this game? Is $5.
What game?
Cafe owners,
Cafe what?
cafe owner simulator. It's basically Ale and Tail, but in real life.
Okay. Interesting.
You also know what I absolutely hate about YouTubers?
What?
When they review a game and then don't put the name of the game in their
Oh.
description.
Yeah, that's stupid.
This. Oh.
But anyways, yeah. We got a lot of interesting AAA games coming out, but a lot of negative things for the industry. I don't know if you noticed this. It just got announced last week. Actually on May 1st is when it got announced. Xbox is starting May 1st. It increased the price of its consoles, its controllers, all the
Yes.
peripheries, and the games. So the console is $100 more expensive. The controller is like another $20 more expensive. The games are moved up to 80. All the peripheries more expensive. Like it's ridiculous. Nintendo absolutely kicked open the door. Sony, no doubt, before the end of the month will be doing the same. We're in a rough spot for AAA gaming. Like we've said numerous times, something's got to give.
PC Master Race.
That's legitimately like this is what gets me. Console used to be the budget option.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you buy a console because the console itself is cheaper than buying a PC that's of similar capabilities, and it's like you
Yeah,
play it on your
you have to
TV.
play it
There's
on a TV that you're gonna get less graphics on, you're gonna have less control over certain things, but at the same time, now it's more effective just to go buy a fucking PC.
it was the cost of convenience
Yeah.
is the thing. Yeah, legitimately. Now with all of the other things getting so much more expensive, just go buy a PC. Because even if you're spending the equivalent on a PC that you would on a console, you're getting a functioning PC. Is it going to be top of the
Yeah.
line? Nah, it's not. But it's going to do you
Fucking
well.
goddamn.
And you're going to be so much better off than if you go and buy a console, especially because all of these games are getting more expensive. Next tip I can give you, don't buy AAA because there's no point in buying AAA right now. Don't buy Nintendo, don't buy Xbox, don't buy I will still say don't buy PlayStation because I hate PlayStation. But it'd be more accurate to say I'm angry at PlayStation, but they haven't made the leap yet. I'm sure it won't be long. So, Another piece of advice I can give, because it's something I've noticed between both Microsoft and Nintendo increasing their prices. There are so many people coming to bat for them. It's ridiculous. The number of people who are like, yes, I want these companies to take my money. Take more of my money, please. Like, no, it's reasonable, guys, actually, that they're charging us all this extra money despite gaming being in one of the worst states it's been in a while. No, it makes sense. Just have them keep sinking money into terrible games. Don't tell them that they need to fix their practices in any way. The best piece of advice I can give is, and take this for every part of life, not just when it comes to gaming. Just because someone that is typically aligned with you, whether you like PlayStation, you like Nintendo, you like Xbox, no matter what comes out, always start in the middle with everything and forge your opinion based on the action, not who's doing it. So,
Fair.
whether you want to go political with it, whether you want to go, video games, anything. When somebody, if you're a freaking red-blooded, shotgun toting Republican, just because somebody who is Democrat does something, don't assume it's automatically bad because they're Democrat and they're against me. Look at what they've done, assess it, and then form your opinion on it. It's the same way when it comes to the video game industry. I don't care if Nintendo has been your absolute favorite console from the time you were freaking 2 years old. Like, if Nintendo comes out and does something, you need to start from the middle ground, completely ignore the fact that it's Nintendo, purely look at what they're doing, and then make that judgment. Because when you
Consolist much.
Whatever. But
I was gonna give completely different advice. Get away from video games as a whole. Go to your local gaming store, buy some weird random RPG system, and just go play with friends.
I mean, yeah, that's
create your own stories.
That's an absolutely solid piece of advice too.
We should honestly do a ranking system for those types of games.
Like play different RPGs and
yeah.
Because really the only one we play right now is D&D.
Yeah, because there's so many other systems. Like, I love the Genesis system.
Even Pathfinder has its own system. That's similar to D&D but different.
Yeah, or like Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, I've heard Call of Cthulhu is fun.
People love Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk that up. But no, the reason I say that is because I see too many people online who Nintendo comes out and Nintendo does their thing and they raise the prices and people get mad about it. People are like, that's ridiculous. How could Nintendo do this? And then Microsoft raises the prices and more people get mad about it. And then those people, some of the people who criticize Nintendo are like, oh, wait, but it's Microsoft doing it this time, so it's okay. Like, no, it's not okay. Whether it's the game company you like or not, you need to look at the action they're taking and judge it that way. My advice is, don't buy AAA right now. It's not worth your money. You're literally just going to be sinking money into nothing.
Listen, some games are.
There are a select few games, yeah, of course. There always
Civ
will
7.
be.
I have 364 hours in it.
Okay, that is insane. Don't.
I have only put in 60 hours since you called me on 1 week from its drop. I had gotten over 300 hours in the game. I slowed down.
Good grief. I slowed down. Jeez Louise. But anyway, yeah, there are the select, like, you know what? I've heard that Cyberpunk 2077 is absolutely incredible quality.
Nowadays.
Expedition 33. Expedition 33 is one of the exact examples. That game was made on a, I believe, $30 million budget, or was it 50 million? It was somewhere in that range. The guy who made it, who is the project developer on it, said if he had gone AAA with it, the game would not only have cost closer to 200 million or more, but it would have taken another 4 or 5 years to make. That is the problem. A team of 30 people. Do you know how big some of the teams for AAA games are? They get up into the 200s. I'm sorry, when your game's being passed around like that, it's not worth anything. It's the quality's slipping. The more people who shove their fingers into it, it's like too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like let's look this up. What's a big game flop?
Concord.
Size of Concord. I was literally typing it in. Core dev team. At least 150. At least. Skull and Bones. Four hundred. 400 people. 400 people worked on that game, and it sucked.
Look up God of War.
God of War. We'll do 2018 first, and then we'll do Ragnarok. God of War 2018. 300 people. That is still a lot. I'm surprised that game... Is that an experienced studio, though? Because I can understand if it was...
I believe it's the same studio that has done every single God of War game.
There's at least some merit for that, then? Yeah, God of War Ragnarok was a 400-person team. Santa Monica has legit only done God of War. Yeah, that explains part of it. I still think that's way too big.
But then again, they also basically made a bloody movie, not a video game.
Yes, it's not quite as bad as some of the other PlayStation exclusives, but yes, there is a lot of that. That's something I can forgive. Plus, it says they had 5 creative directors, which, yeah, when you're getting to a team that big, you need more than one person directing the game. Let's try Red Dead 2.
That's Rockstar, so I'm gonna guess it's gonna be like 260.
Nope.
How many?
2,000.
Pull up Halo Infinite. I want to see that one.
800 and 900. I hesitate to believe 2,000 people actually worked on Red Dead 2. That's a lot of freaking people. 1,600
Actually,
developers.
I will give them credit because they did employ a ton of voice actors.
Approximately 1,600 developers, around 1,000 software developers, 60 to 70 camera operators. See, okay, that makes sense then if it's like camera operators, even though it's not in the same function you would typically think of for, a sporting event or something like that, where you have guys who are toting the camera walking around the arena or auditorium or something like that. That's probably a case of like, hey,
That's all mocap. That's all it is. They
you're
were
doing
filming mocap,
and it's like, hey, you're working 5 days a week, so we got these guys on 5 days a week, or maybe even 4, and we're splitting up shifts like that. It's not like you have all of these guys working every single time the game is being worked on. 110 musicians, that's an orchestra. 500 motion capture actors, and 700 voice actors.
Yeah.
So if you count, counting the voice actors, that makes a lot more sense. A lot more. Because, when you count everybody involved, I guess that does make 300 people. That's not taking into account the actual number of developers.
No, it isn't.
Like the people who are actually coding the game. Because when you're counting voice actors and you're counting creative directors and art directors and music directors, like all those different departments, the dev team itself is probably much smaller than 300.
Yeah.
For like God of War.
And you have to think God of War also did not have a lot of voice actors.
No, not really. You had Judge playing Kratos. I don't remember the name of the guy who played Atreus. Yeah, there weren't that many Magni and Modi in the first one. You had Freya, you had Balder. You had the 2 twins who were the shopkeepers. And
they weren't twins, they were just brothers.
Brothers, not twins. And the voice actors also mocapped. Yeah, that's true. That's true too. So
yeah, they were doubling up. The only thing the voice actors did not mocap was the fighting scenes.
Yes,
because they actually hired
trained fighters.
Yeah, which I saw an interview with one of them, and it was the funniest thing ever because he's like, they're telling me to try and fight in a way that makes no sense. Like, why would I step forward with a hook like this? It makes no sense.
Right. If you're stepping with a hook, you're kind of stepping to the side.
Yeah. But it's like, no, you're stepping... So if I'm throwing a right hook, I'm stepping with my right foot.
Yeah. You're not just stepping forward into the hook. You're stepping kind of out diagonally to the right.
Yeah, but it was like... He had to basically relearn how to fight for them. And he was like, it doesn't work. Don't try it.
That's funny.
Oh, something I learned recently. MIT has a certificate for piracy.
Really?
Yep. You have required physical education classes, and if you take archery, pistols, sailing, and fencing, you get a certificate in piracy.
Oh, the like sailing on the seas kind of piracy, not the I'm watching movies illicitly kind of piracy.
Yes. Listen, MIT's a strange school, man, because a bunch of kids built a nuclear reactor inside of the school.
Yes, I'm aware of that one. That one's a fun story. They weren't even necessarily trying to make a nuclear reactor, right?
Um. Okay. There. They were tasks. That was like homework or like a summer project. I can't remember exactly what it was. Was to do research on how endothermic energy reacts to certain things.
Right.
So their response was they built a nuclear reactor to test things inside the dorms.
Remarkable.
And you know how they got caught?
Wasn't when they were trying to get plutonium?
No, they got radioactive material easily. Surprisingly, not that hard to get things that are radioactive. I believe they went with potassium.
Okay.
They got caught because of a field exercise for FEMA. Was picking up odd amount of radiations. And they were like, what's going on here? And they followed it and found these poor kids built a fully operational nuclear reactor inside of a dorm room, which if you've seen MIT dorm rooms, they're tiny.
Yeah.
I believe every single one of those kids got internships working with like nuclear plants.
Oh yeah.
Immediately. You know what? If somebody can build a nuclear reactor in a dorm room, yeah, cool. Do whatever you want, man.
I love the idea that they're just kind of like, damn, we could charge you with a crime, but I think it'd be better if we just hired you.
It's the same thing with how NASA started. NASA also started out of MIT where they made rocket fuel inside of the dorm room and then set it off.
Good grief.
Because they were testing rockets and they accidentally lit one in the dorm room and and instead of being like, you can't do this anymore, they're like, okay, here's a massive field in the middle of nowhere. Have fun.
Jeez.
And here's some government money.
Yeah, I don't even know how we got to where we are talking about MIT students accidentally forming government agencies. But it's remarkable.
Former government agencies.
All right. Whatever. I don't need to get pedantic about it. But yeah, I don't even remember where we left off, but
we're on Rest in Peace Polygon. We have not started that one yet.
Yeah, I know we hadn't started that one. I was just trying to think if there was any closing thoughts I had about the increase in gaming. But yeah. Be careful what you spend your money on. Don't just spend your money on something that has a company's name attached to it. It's not smart. But Polygon. So, for those of you who don't know what Polygon is, Polygon was, thank goodness, a gaming journalist outfit. I guess outfit is the proper word. No, freaking.
That Polygon, okay.
Thank you, Google. I look up polygon on Google, and Google gives me AI overview. A polygon is a closed two-dimensional geometric shape formed by.
I did the same thing earlier, and I just was not going to admit it on screen.
Polygon gaming, sure. So Polygon got sold. And what another blow to the future of games journalism? Hold on. What? I'm all of a sudden interested in this article. But quick overview for anybody who doesn't know. Polygon's like Kotaku, like, you know, there's a bunch of them that is just a gaming journalism site that for the longest time has just been gaming journalism. It's spouted out the most dog-ass opinions about gaming, declared it law, and, you know, went from there. That's essentially what Polygon has been for the longest time. Just like all of these other ones. They got sold earlier this week, which hence the rest and piss Polygon, because they are definitely changing. But I really want to read this article now. The article is Polygon's sudden sale is another blow to the future of games journalism on Startup Daily. We all have our morning rituals. Mine often involves waking up, taking a look at my phone, and scanning the news. There's only a few sites that I can be bothered to visit while my eyes adjust to the light. They are mostly Australian news websites, but one overseas site makes the cut. It's not the New York Times or Wall Street Journal. It's Polygon.
Oh, go on. I hit a button and I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at script. Okay.
Oh, did you open the website's whatever's it, control panel?
Man, there's a whole lot of error messages in the controls panel. I'm just gonna ignore that and move on.
For the past decade, the site has been a staple in my gaming media diet, largely because of its diverse coverage and respect for its subject matter. I don't always agree with its stories or reviews, but I have immense respect for the way in which the site conducts itself and has elevated the overall discussion on gaming. I heavily disagree, but okay. Savvy editorship and writing means I'm generally always surprised when I read Polygon. Oh, I'm surprised too, just not in a good way. With crafty angles and writing on even the most general of video game news, such as console launches. Judging by traffic, others generally agree. It ranks as one of the top gaming news sites globally, behind other major players such as IGN and GameSpot. That's two others that I neglected to mention. No, I can tell you right now why traffic does not agree with you. Because the amount of traffic a gaming journalism website typically gets is because they put out these hot take things. Like, just today I saw one that was, I think it was Kotaku, saying, we're almost in the glorious age of being able to skip boss fights.
Why would you want to skip a boss fight?
Because they're actually brain dead. I swear, games journalism would love it if there was this button at the beginning of the game that you could hit. It would say, you won the game. Congratulations. They'd be like, 10 out of 10, game of the year. Let's go. Let's go. Like,
can we make a game like that? Can we make a game like that?
That would be really funny. Game journalism simulator. But they're literally like scum-sucking morons that make these articles most of the time. It's either that or they're intentionally trying to bait you into clicking on the article. That's 98% of them. I'd say there's 2% that are the scum-sucking morons. But most of them, it's just the articles aren't worth your time because they're literally just putting out a hot take piece to try and get you to click on it and generate clicks for the websites. So no, traffic does not agree with you. Traffic says that there are a lot of people falling for the clickbait and viewing their articles. Imagine my shock to read, not on Polygon, but on its sister site, The Verge, that a publication that has become my gaming news equivalent of a morning coffee has suddenly, and without warning or rumor, been sold. Despite being leagues apart in terms of coverage and intent, Polygon will now operate inside the same media stable as Game Rant under the purview of Valnet. In addition, a swath of the team has been let go. The site's main editor-in-chief, Chris Plant, is out of the company. This, sadly, isn't exactly new in the media landscape, but there are a few breadcrumbs from what we know about the deal that point to the broader challenges faced right now by gaming media. It may have been a decade ago, but I've worked in a newsroom that's been under the hammer. There's some interesting constructs between the two deals. Okay, we're undermined by AI, whatever. I want to see the actual...
There's not going to be one, I can tell you that right now.
I just want to see one that talks about the deal. Polygon sold. The video game website Polygon has been sold to ClickFarm powerhouse Valnet, and much of its masthead has been laid off. Kotaku has learned. Of course, I managed to click at the one freaking Kotaku. At least this is one that it's not about a video game, so...
so it'll actually have stuff in it.
Possibly. Don't get your hopes too high.
My hopes were low to begin with.
If you're hiring, please consider the many talented writers and editors now in the market. Every one of them deserves a spot in your staff. I won't be talking more about the sale because I wasn't involved. Going to hang out with my kid, taking wins where I can. Okay, so I feel for the people who are losing their jobs. Like, that sucks. But talented is a strong word to describe people who just write the most bottom of the barrel articles possible. Like, don't get me wrong, I get it. It's tough to lose your job, especially in an industry like this where it may not exactly be easy to get a different job because it's kind of oversaturated right now. It's what's the low demand, high supply, low demand. There's a ton of people who would be willing to write for gaming journalists or journalism in general, and journalism is just not really that popular right now because of how bad it has been.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't need the whole history of freaking... Polygon. I just want what the deal was. That's an interesting headline. Thank you, 404 Media, for telling the truth. Telling it how it is. Polygon acquired by porn mogul who co-founded Brazzers. There's no shot. Oh my gosh. Oh, you know what? 404, I changed my mind. You can shove it up your ass. I'm not paying to read your article. That's the other issue that pisses me off. Every time you go to read an article from any main publication, they cut off half the article and say, pay us if you want to read more. No, I don't value your opinion enough to pay to read your stupid articles. Gosh. Pay me to read more about what I think about Polygon being sold. Good grief. But, yeah, I think with the downsizing, I know Polygon still exists, but I doubt it's going to be able to continue the way it is now, or even that similar. I think just like we've been heading towards a gaming industry crash, I think we're approaching a gaming journalism death. Unless it gets significantly better, because a lot of gaming journalism legitimately is. Once again, I'm highlighting gaming journalism just because that's most prevalent to us, but the same thing's happening with any kind of journalism. Whether it's political, whether
Yep.
it's sports, whether it's world news, it's all clickbaity. I get so sick listening to sports talk shows on like ESPN. I don't do it anymore. Or reading sports articles, because half the time it's just like they do the thing. Hey, okay. So what happens on ESPN is every single guy sits there and is like, "Yeah, I think this guy who is objectively great quarterback sucks." And then they all yell at each other for 30 minutes. And it's like it's unbelievably annoying. What sports journalism does, notable wide receiver gets cut by Buccaneers. And you read that and you think, oh my gosh, did they cut Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, one of the big name wide receivers on the team? What's going on? What am I reading? No, they cut some random guy that they signed off the street because he was there for training camp, and they cut him, and they're like, "Oh, we need to make an article about this." And that is what pisses me off about sports journalism. It's in a different way than gaming journalism, but it's just as misleading. So I'm hoping we're approaching the era where people are catching on that maybe these journalism websites kind of suck and you should stop clicking them. Just don't read them anymore. If you see a headline that catches your eye, scroll past it because it's freaking worthless. 98% of the time it's worthless. Unless it can tell you in the headline what it's talking about and you can go and read it to get more insight, don't do it. Just don't mess with it. That's my advice. And never ever pay for any journalism website. I don't care what news they're trying to give you. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. What happened to the days of journalism's highest honor is being killed for your journalism?
The CIA?
I know, yeah. I know gaming and sports journalism isn't really going to do that, but man, I haven't heard of a journalism being executed in quite a while.
I would also like to point out this: you're talking to a man whose father was a journalist for the military.
You're right. 20 years ago.
And then less than 20. Actually, you're right. It's almost been 20 years since he retired.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then did journalism for a defense contractor. So, yeah, journalism. Well, he did editorial journalism, which he just reviewed articles, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody doing that now.
No, well,
not well, at least.
in some, and there are some fields that still have to do it.
Right, but I don't know, man. I don't know. But I hate games journalism. Just because, I mean, I don't understand. There are some of these games that are so easy. So easy. Like, you know what? Dark Souls, all of those kind of games, if you want to name different ones, Dark Souls, Cuphead, Hollow Knight, even whenever you get to the more difficult levels of like Mario games, like things like that. I think every single one of those games is completable by anybody who picks up the controller. They just have to be willing to give it the time of day to beat it. I guarantee you that you could beat a Dark Souls game if you sat down and played through it. But if you approach it like, I'm going to hate this game, before you've even opened the game, yeah, you're going to hate the game. Because you're prepared to hate it. And I feel like that's what happens with gaming journalism most of the time. It's why the jackass who rated Cuphead is a terrible game, because he couldn't get out of the tutorial. Like, I seriously doubt he was fully incapable of getting out of the tutorial of the game. But I think he wasn't willing to actually put in the effort to figure out the controls to get out of the tutorial, and just decided, I'm just going to say the game sucks because the tutorial is bad. Boom. Quick and easy article. I can get some clicks on it. You know, people like this game, so people will click
People are
on
going to
it.
open it up to complain about it, but
They'll open it up, they'll read it, they'll complain about it, then they'll tell other people, who will then start commenting about it and going and looking up the article, and yeah, it'll get attention.
all interaction is good interaction.
Yep.
Even when it's bad interaction.
As long as I get your click, as long as I get your comment, I can tell. That's another thing. If you don't like something on the internet, don't engage with it in any way. Don't leave a negative comment. Don't leave a dislike. Don't do anything like that, because that is still engagement. And TikTok and YouTube and Twitter, every single social media site you can get paid off of, still notes that as engagement and will boost it. Completely ignore
the only website that I can say you can engage with is Reddit, because it has downvotes.
Reddit does have downvotes, but the thing is, you can't really make money off of Reddit, and
not at all.
There's no algorithm for pushing things to more people in Reddit necessarily.
That's why I go to Reddit with all of my problems. It's like, I need to fix this thing. Okay, I have to go to Reddit.
Yeah, of course you go to Reddit for all your problems, because you look up some issue you're having, and chances are some random guy 5 years ago was having the same issue, and some autistic dude who it's his specific hyperfixation has given the exact answer you need. Like, that's the only useful thing about Reddit.
Reddit's great.
Hey, what's the name of that one episode of this show where this obscure thing happens? That'll be season 6, episode 29, minute 32, second 18. It was released this year. Okay, cool. Thank you, dude from freaking 2013. I'm glad that somebody else had this question and you answered it. I really appreciate that. Like,
real glad.
Legitimately. It's crazy. That's the thing Reddit's useful for. But yeah, no, any other social media website, be it YouTube, anything that's content sharing, content creating, don't engage with something if you don't like it, because the algorithm will, even if it's negative, it will still register that as engagement and push it to other people.
People like this thing, they're talking about it, God. We need to push it. Did I get you to laugh off that one?
I was like, legitimately, is he tweaking? What's going on? What the hell happened? I was like, what? Because you're just like, I'm like, what did you do? Did you spill your drink in your lap again? Like, what?
No, I did not. Thank you very much. I'm sitting far away from my desk.
That's what I was like. I was like, what is going on? I didn't realize you were making a bit until like the right at the end. Gosh dang.
I love how I can completely throw you off by my stunning incompetence to try for a bit, and you're like, just imagining all the scenarios that I could have dropped something, I spilt something on me, I accidentally got my hand stuck in a paper shredder.
I was like, legitimately, I'm like, did he spill water on his computer and now he's freaking out trying to keep it from exploding? Gosh. Oh
Did he
boy.
set himself on fire again?
Right, yeah, for the fourth time. Uh,
I wanted to argue that I've not done it 4 times, but I
you think you've done it more?
don't. Yeah, I don't want to make myself look any more flammable in the eyes of fire.
Like, oh, we haven't tried to burn you enough.
I have scars up and down my arms for birds. I don't need any more.
That's what you think. Oh boy. All right. You got anything else to talk about? Cause I think we're good.
I got my quote ready if you got yours.
Yeah, go ahead with yours. I just need to find mine real quick.
Man. See, this is the thing. I keep finding quotes and I'm like, ah, Spencer would definitely say this one. So I think I'm gonna save it so I can say it just in case Spencer also says it.
Uh huh.
But half the time we aren't even in the same ballpark.
I'm hoping we won't be on this one.
I have a feeling you are going with Silence of the Lambs
No,
quote.
I'm
Okay.
not. I was not going to do a Silence of the Lambs quote.
Well, my quote is, when life throws you a rainy day, play in the puddles. Winnie the Pooh.
That one's good. I've got a person who won't read has no advantage over one who can't read. Mark Twain.
You I'm so annoyed with you right now because I have a whole thing of quotes and that was 2 swipes away.
Oh, should have made a better choice. We,
Every time I try and get closer and closer, but honestly, I
that's a
think that
good
would be
one,
a really
Razor.
fun.
I think what? Trying
I
to.
think there's a friendship game that you can play where you both try and say the same exact thing,
Oh
and I
yeah,
wonder how many tries it would take us to get the same thing.
dude. What if we did? What was that old game show where the wife and husband would
The
have to try and
Newlyweds
guess?
game?
Yes.
Yes, each other's, right?
Yeah. Oh gosh, that could be entertaining. But yeah, Razorbolt's quote is, "We learn from those who come before us to pave the way for those who come after." Gustav from Expedition 33. That's a good one. I like that one. I didn't even think about doing one from Silence of the Lambs, although I should have. Yeah, hard recommend to anybody who has not seen Silence of the Lambs. Go watch it. Probably, it's not really a horror movie, but it's definitely my favorite thriller that I've ever watched. But anyways, that's all from us for tonight.
Oh,
I'm glad to be back. I will be back tomorrow. I want to do a long stream tomorrow. I just don't know what. I have to ask Tyler if he's off tomorrow. I don't think he is. I think he's off Friday. But either way,
dude.
what?
I us playing the Newlyweds game would be absolutely hysterical because I'm reading through some of the questions asked.
Is it bad? Is it?
There's a couple where I could see us actually getting them right, but oh man, there's a lot that are real rough.
Oh yeah, well that's the point. You're meant to do it to learn more about the person you just married.
Yeah.
But I think it was the Game Grumps did it a while back, and it was thoroughly entertaining. I think it might be if we do it too, but well, we'd have to see. But yeah,
I
I'll
could
be
just
back.
pop into one of your streams and we do it. Who said I love you first out of the two of us?
I have either of us said that to one another?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, we have. I have no idea who said it first. I want to say it was me.
I was gonna say the same thing. And the funniest thing is we've known each other for over 11 years now,
Oh, for
right?
11. Dude, we've known each other since 2011. It's been 14. No,
14 years.
2010. 2010, because that's when we started middle school. 15
Um,
years, almost. It'll be 15 years in, like, August.
it took us 11 years to say this.
Yes.
Say it. Because it was in 2021 and I remember it.
Yep. I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, that's gotta be when it...
Because 20 Actually, I think I said it first.
I have no idea. I know that's probably
Because
when
we found out mom had cancer and you took me out to dinner.
Yeah.
I think that's when I said it to you. Fucking 11 years. 11 years.
That's insane.
We are the worst married couple ever.
Tally ho.
Tally ho.